Okay. Yes, so that's what A/B testing is. Which pricing strategy involves initially launching a product at a price lower than its value with the intent to capture mass customers? Freemium pricing is when you implement a free plan and a premium plan on your product. Penetration pricing is the answer because it involves launching a product at a lower price and than just so that you can capture customers. Value-based pricing is pricing your products based on the value that your customers perceive your products to be valuable to them. And then a scheme pricing and cost plus pricing. These are all on the slides. When mapping a flowchart, a lot of people got this one because it's easy. When mapping a flowchart, do symbols have any relevance? Yes, they do. So that's it for the revision. Livingstone, what's the issue?
There was one question that I didn't get.
Which one?
I think you that one of backlog, and I didn't get the parts of that. The one before the backlog. Is there a difference between KPI and metric? I didn't get the answer you gave for that.
Yeah, that's not the question. The question is metric same as a KPI? No,
Uh,
but
so
a KPI can be a metric.
yeah, I didn't get that one before. Like I didn't hear you say it.
All right.
For that backlog, I didn't understand what you like because I
Then
think that was the one I had issue
the
with.
the product backlog includes all of the following. It means all of the options here are correct except one. And the incorrect one here is a product backlog defines the requirements for building the product. It's incorrect because you do not define requirements on a backlog. You define requirements on your priority. Exactly.
So does it mean that I'm even confused about it? Yeah? Well, no problem.
Go and
I
read the
just don't
slide.
understand.
Read the slide.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we've gone over the corrections. I hope uh Livingston was one of the people who had issues with the grading. Any other person, I hope that I don't remember who else, but I hope that your questions have been answered. All right, so now people who have questions relating to the project, you can now ask your questions. Let's get that over with. At least if we spend 1 hour on the call, then we'll know we've had a productive call. John, you can speak. John Enyi.
Moment. Hello.
Yes, good evening.
Hello, ma.
I can hear you.
Okay, I have a question.
Okay.
My question is on the answer. I didn't get about two of them. The question on which prioritization framework is a customer-centric framework. I didn't quite get the answer there.
It's not prioritization framework. Or is it
Huh?
okay with it? Let me go back to it.
Okay.
Which prioritization framework is a customer centric framework? The answer is Kanu model or Kenu model. Yes,
Okay.
that's true.
Kano model. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the question on Scrum. Under Scrum methodology, how long does a sprint usually last?
2 weeks to 1 month.
Huh?
1 month. 2 weeks to 1 month.
Okay, 2 weeks to 1 month. Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Achugo principle. Principle.
Yes. My question is on the final project. And firstly, the last part of the question, as the PM, how would you build this product? Does it
Mm.
mean that we are going to explain how we are going to build the product before we work on the expectations, or is the expectation the same thing as what we are going to do in building the product?
You can do either of them. You will not be penalized if you just go straight for the expectations. But if you decide to articulate how you build the product before addressing the expectations, that's also okay.
Okay. And secondly, concerning the roadmap,
Mm.
from my question is based on 3 months roadmap. Now, I'm just trying to, this project, like you said, is going to form part of our portfolio. So I'm finding it difficult to squeeze all the features on the roadmap, considering the timeline. Because if you try to split the time frame for a features to be developed, going by Scrum methodology, if you use 2 weeks, it will be more than 3 months. So
Oh
I
no, so I'll explain how Scrum works. Let me explain how Scrum works. How Scrum works is there's a sprint planning session that I taught done under Scrum methodology, right? So under the sprint planning session, the product manager has already documented on Jira or whatever project management tool they're using, documented all the features that they want to work on, right? Now,
yeah,
during sprint planning session, they do effort estimation. That developer will come and tell me, oh yeah, these 5 features I want you to do. How long will it take you? You tell me. Everybody will talk their own. The PM will document it. Now, what happens is everything that you said you want to do during this sprint, that's what you would do. So it doesn't mean that it's one feature per sprint. So
okay,
it is just essentially your team telling you that in these 2 weeks, this is the amount of work that we will be able to cover within this 2 week duration. That is essentially what happens. That's why I said a sprint can be shorter than 2 weeks, but the expectation normally is 2 weeks to a month. So if everything that is on the backlog for that particular 2 week sprint, remember there's a sprint backlog. Now, if
yeah,
everything on the backlog for that 2 weeks session has been finished before the 2 weeks, everybody cannot just sit down. The sprint can now end, and they will now start planning for the next sprint. They'll do a sprint review and then plan for the next sprint.
okay.
So
That means
now to your
yes, ma'am.
question. Yes, back to your question. Now, it doesn't mean that every 2 weeks they'll work on one particular feature. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. It doesn't mean that one
Okay,
particular week they will work on. So if you it depends on the number of resources you have. It depends on how fast your team is, so you can find that you are implementing or you are developing 2 to 3 features. No, 3 features is a stretch, but let's say 2 features per sprint. That's very possible, right? Now, did I ask you to do prioritization framework?
yes, yes, yes.
So now that is why I asked you to prioritize what is on your when you use your Moscow framework to prioritize. What the 3 features you prioritize are what you are building. So that is what should be on your roadmap. Now you can add all your 1 million features, put it on your backlog.
Okay,
Yes, so put it on your backlog, and then your roadmap that is spanning these 3 months will bear the actual features you've prioritized that will be worked on for this 3 months duration. Now, what this happens and why you're documenting it on your backlog is ideally in a work environment. It means that once we have launched our MVP, these things on our backlog are the next set of things that we're going to work on.
going to work on.
Yes.
All right, ma'am. Thank you.
Mohammed, you had your hands raised, but I can't see you anymore. Livingstone, you can go, and then Chigozirim, you can go after Livingstone.
Okay. Um, my question is quite much. So I think
Ask one question, someone else will go, then I'll call you again.
okay for the roadmap and backlog. Now that's where my issue lies. Now you gave, okay, you there is a what do we call it? A time frame for
Mm-hmm.
the products, and I got to understand that okay, the three prioritized feature will be for the 3 months. So in
Mm-hmm.
a case I want to, is it that for my what's it called roadmap, is only the three features I will just put there, and
Yes.
the okay. So for the backlog now, I can add as many as the features
Yes.
I want to
Yes.
add. So
Yes.
for now, the time frame that I will put on my backlog, can I extend the time to, or I will just leave it blank, or anytime I just like?
Don't have
That's
time.
different from.
Livingstone, your backlog doesn't have a timeline. I didn't teach you to do a timeline. It's only your roadmap
It
that is. Your roadmap is
no, for the last one I did, I just used I linked my roadmap straight away to my backlog, and it brought everything I added to my from the roadmap to the backlog. The time frame was even included,
But you
so
can
that's the
delete
reason
it.
why.
With the time
Okay,
frame of backlog, because your
okay,
backlog does not need to have a time frame because it's a backlog, right? It's you can keep moving things around. It's not limited to just the. It's not limited to just this version of your roadmap. So your roadmap is time bound, but your backlog is not time bound.
okay. So I'll just put my three power time feature on the roadmap. Nothing else. Okay, man.
Yeah.
I
No,
will.
no,
I will.
nothing else. Are you not going to launch? Are you not going to do marketing? You put things on the roadmap. Are you not going to price your product? Have people forgotten how to do your roadmap? Your roadmap is
That's
not
what
just
I'm asking.
your
That's
roadmap.
that's
Your roadmap is not just Livingstone. Go and watch the recording on roadmap because you are taking me back. Go and watch the recording on roadmap. Go and read the slide. Go and understand what a roadmap is. Then you can come and ask your question tomorrow because you've forgotten what a roadmap is. Your
I didn't
roadmap is not
forget.
just no, it's not just a list of your features. It is a list of strategic activities that you want to do in that time frame. So if you are going to launch an MVP, marketing is a strategic activity. I vividly remember that I said if you are going to price your products, which means you are going to have to sync with your finance stakeholders, you put it on your roadmap. Why do you put it on your roadmap? Because your cross-functional stakeholders also have access to your roadmap. So they too are going to plan their own activities and have it at the back of their mind that you need to sync with them at some point for your products. Did I not say this?
Okay. Okay. What in the case of so it's be that for the features now, I think I understand now that the only features that will be for the products will be there, apart from the strategic movement about the product. I will include it on the roadmap. Okay. Can I? Okay. I'll go and ask later. I think I'm confused.
I want to also suggest to you guys you can use now next later. Hmm. You can use a so your roadmap, your backlog is status based, right? Some if you remember, most of you did started in progress, not started. Now you can do a now next later roadmap, which means if you have, let's say you have 10 features, and I've asked you to prioritize only three using Moscow, and if you are using the Moscow framework, it means that it is the three that are in your must category are what you are launching. So everything in the other categories are not going to be launched now within this 3 months window. What that means now is if you want to, on your backlog, the categories on your should have, the features on your should have category can be next on your backlog. And then the features on your could have can be on your now next later can be on your later backlog. Chigozerim, you can ask.
Okay, good
Chigozerim,
afternoon.
good afternoon.
All right, so my question is just this. So, are we meant to do, apart from the expectations, are we meant to do like a presentation slide just to talk about like the product and how we're going to build it, what we are building, whether it's a mobile app or it's a web application
Yes,
and all that?
yes. Thank you for bringing that up. Please let me indicate on your assignment if it's a web application or a mobile application. And yes, everybody is supposed to actually talk me through their products. I want to see your rationale behind the answers that you give. So there will be like a mini presentation from next week.
Okay. Okay. So another thing I wanted to ask is the Moscow framework. How do we answer that? Do we put that in the PRD, or do we put that in the presentation?
No, it's part of the expect. Everything that I ask is part of the expectation for this presentation or for this project. Now you don't have to put it in like I don't know. Were you in the previous class?
The last class?
Yeah.
Yes, I was, but I was
Okay.
in and out because of network.
Okay. So I don't know if you missed it, but I explained that everything you are putting is in one document. So this submission, you're not submitting PRD separate, roadmap separate, backlog separate. Everything is in one document. And I said you either use a Google slide or you use Notion. You can use either of these two. I don't want to see MS Word. Either a Google slide or use Notion. And the only link that will be on your project or on your submission user research, and that's because I want to see the questions you ask and I want to see the responses you got from your questions. Now, what was your question again just now?
I asked if the Moscow framework would be in the PRD or to be like a separate document.
So includes the PRD on the portfolio. As I just said, everything is one single client portfolio that you're submitting.
Okay. So
That's it.
I just want to understand the way we're submitting clearly, because I'm kind of confused about it as well. So does it mean that we're going to include everything in one cohesive document, so everything will have to be in one document, or
Yeah.
would maybe submit a document with all the links to the backlog, the roadmap, and all that?
One cohesive document.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Timothy, yeah. Timothy.
Good evening. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, my question is kind of similar to what the last person just asked. In the expectations on my assignment, I'm seeing write the product, the customer problem statement for this product. What type of MVP are you using? And I remember when we were talking about PROD, you mentioned that the customer problem statement should be on the PROD. So are those expectations also
So
going to be the PROD
the
or
the customer problem statement should be on parody. Or
okay?
I didn't say it should be on your parody. I thought customer problem statement separately. Now you can put customer problem statement on your customer persona. Did I ask you to do a user persona?
Yes.
So you can put it on your user persona.
Okay. Then the MVP type
Use
and the research
Great.
methodology.
When you're putting it, ensure that you're following the template because it's a template that I taught. Ensure you're following the customer's problem statement template. So go
Yes.
ahead.
Okay, and there's also a research methodology you would use, the MVP type. Should this be in a separate document or they can also be in, let's say, inside the PRD?
Are you are doing an e-commerce product, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I asked for MVP type. So everything, like I answered Chigozurim just now, everything is in one cohesive document.
Okay.
So you can section them however you want. You can use headings to separate them however you want, but everything should be on one document.
Oh, okay, I get it now. Since we can use headings, that's fine.
Yes. No, please use headings. How am I supposed to understand if you don't use headings? Use headings to separate your work.
All right. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. Augusta, you had your hands raised. Has your question been answered? Okay. 1K Cynthia Ifoma.
Okay, My question, good afternoon, ma.
Good afternoon.
Okay, so my question is, I don't understand these prioritize three key features of your this thing, because is it also to prioritize it on your product backlog too,
Hmm?
or
No.
just the product roadmap, just three key features?
Were you in the prioritization class when I taught on prioritization? Were you in that class?
Yes, ma.
Okay. Please ask your question again.
Okay, I said, you said we should use my Moscow framework to prioritize three key features for the
Mm.
MVP. So I'm
Mm.
asking, these three key features we are to prioritize. Is it also for the product backlog or just for the roadmap?
It's for your roadmap.
Okay, not for the product backlog, ba?
I like I answered Livingstone just now. If you have 10 features, whatever number of features you have, you can put them on your backlog. But
Okay,
the features that should be on your roadmap are the features you want to launch within these 3 months, which are the ones you have prioritized.
okay, ma. And I have another question to ask, ma.
Hmm.
Okay, so I asked before in the group if we are to conduct a competitive analysis.
Did I ask you? So everybody doesn't have the same question. Was your
No,
own instruction to conduct
no,
competitive analysis?
it's not in it, ma.
If it's not in it, then you might need to, because it's also part of gathering feedback. So, in you being able to know the kind of features that should be on your product, you can conduct competitive analysis right after you've done user research. It's optional, but you don't have to. You can show me, but if I didn't ask you, you don't have to. But
Okay, ma.
remember to talk about this project. From next week, everybody's going to talk about their project. So, do something that you actually understand.
Okay, ma. Thank you.
Yeah. Najib. Najib, if you want to talk about your assessment, I already addressed it earlier.
Okay, it's not
It's a
actually concerning the assessment, it's concerning the project, man. Good afternoon.
good afternoon.
How is work? Thank you, man. I'm asking the document we are going to use to compile the project. Is it slides or any kind of document? Maybe.
You can use slides or Notion. Those are the only two tools. Either Google Slide or Notion.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. Yes, man.
Adamu Bakar. Adamu Bukar, sorry. Adamu Bukar. Okay, Adamu doesn't have anything to say. John. Livingstone, you can raise your hand to ask your other question.
Okay, ma. Good afternoon again. Once again.
Good afternoon.
Okay, my question is based on the project defense. I don't know what should you said everyone is going to defend it. Is the defense going to be recorded or on the spot? We talk about.
Oh no, it's not pre-recorded on the spot.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
okay. All right, thank you,
So
man.
we'll come on a class like
I,
this. We might not use Telegram. I will communicate to you guys within a week. We might not use Telegram, but we'll see.
okay, okay. And again, I sent you a DM on my on what you asked me to send you.
Yes, I mentioned that I will attend to it after this class.
Okay, ma. Thank you, madam.
Mm. Mohammed, after Mohammed Livingstone, you can go. Mohammed Majia,
Hello, good afternoon, man.
good afternoon.
How's work, man? Well done. We really appreciate your effort, man.
Mm-hmm.
Although my question has been asked, and I'm satisfied with the answer you gave.
All
from
right,
the
no problem.
previous. Yeah. So I have a complaint, man, concerning the quiz we did last week, man.
I'm listening.
Yeah. So unfortunately, I was not able to submit.
Okay.
Quite all right. I was not aware there is a quiz aside the survey form we fill. So it was when it was 5 minutes left. Are you with me?
Were you on the
I
class? You
discovered that
were on the
I was
class.
in the class. Yeah, it was when it was 5 minutes late, when you give extra 5 minutes. I now went to my mail and check. I realized there is a quiz. Before I submit, you've already locked it.
That's unfortunate, but there's nothing I can do because I was very clear that it's a quiz. Hello?
So, oh, well.
Livingstone. Livingstone, you
Okay.
can. Hmm.
Ma, you said you were going to show us some example.
On what?
The prioritization of a thing. But I guess that we didn't really do any assignment on it. And I made a screenshot of how it would be. I'm just confused. Like,
Eh,
how do I implement? Huh?
share that. Share it with the group. Share it to the group.
Okay,
That
let me do
particular area
that.
you showed me. Share it on the group. Then
Okay.
then you can now go ahead. I understand what you want to ask, but for the benefit of everybody.
I'm just like, what's the how do we implement it? Because I don't think we've received any assignment as touching that before.
Yes, you haven't.
So I'm like, how do I implement it? Where is this? I'm sorry. Okay, I've seen it. I've sent it.
Okay. So you ask your question again, so I can now answer now that everybody can see what we're talking
So
about.
is it this same thing I would do for it?
Yeah.
For instance, you look at this, for the three prioritization features, it
Hmm.
means that my prioritized feature should be only on the must have. So what's the
Yes.
lot of should have, could have, and won't have that I will now put?
What's the what? Say that again.
Like, since my three prioritized features will be on the must have, is it that the must have box is only what I will be putting something in, like the three prioritized features? What
No,
about
okay. So
the
you
should have and could have and won't have?
you heard someone say they have a lot of features, Abby, that they want to implement. Were you listening? They said they have a
Ah,
lot of features, but because of the time constraint, because I said 3 months, they feel like they feel like 3 months is too short for all the features they want to. Abby, where you can call.
yes.
All
Yeah,
right.
I was one asking.
Wait, now I'm trying. I'm going somewhere. Now imagine that you have imagine that you have 10. Wait, so you can mute yourself when you want to speak on mute because your background is noisy.
Okay.
Now imagine that you have 10 features. You are launching a what's a feature that I won't give anything away. Okay, you are launching a fintech product now, right? And you want a fintech, the purpose of the fintech is so that people can make transactions, right? So it means you are going to you must work on sign up onboarding. That one is priority. You must do that. Then you're going to work on transaction flow, right? So you have to work on send and receive money. Then you have to implement something like I'm talking. These are like must-have categories. Okay, let me not even prioritize right now. Let's say you want to launch a fintech, and now you now made a list. You have 10 features, or let's say you have 6 features. Sign up onboarding, send and receive money, virtual card, so please give me ideas in the comment section. You guys, give me ideas. You're launching a fintech. What are the features that you build? Okay, so save money. That's you want to launch a savings product. That's 4 now, right? Payments gateway. So that's 6. Currency converter. That's 7. Wallet 8. Okay, yes. So now we have 8 features, right? Okay, you passed the typing. All right. No, transaction history is a must. You have 8 features that you want to now implement now, right? But you cannot implement. You have a 3-month timeline to implement these 8 features, which means you can't click. You cannot implement 8 features for your MVP. Now, what do you do? How do you decide on which one you will launch? And that is where your prioritization framework come into play. You use your prioritization framework. Remember, I said the must-have category are features that your product cannot function without. Now, for a fintech, people must be able to send and receive money. That is something that they must. They must be able to sign up and onboard onto your product. That's something that they must have on your product. And then bank statements, right? That's another thing that they must have, just as a basic, like for you to say you have users. Yeah, you can't be a fintech and people can't send and receive money. You can't be a fintech and I cannot see inflow and outflow on my account statements right now. Things like currency converter, payment gateway, savings products will now go into your should have, could have category. Now, your should have categories are nice to have. Like, it would be nice for us to launch this feature, but if we don't launch it, it will not impact the functionality of our products, but it's something that a good fintech should have, right? So now a currency converter can be in a could have category. Why? Because as a fintech, currency converter means you are going to be hosting other currencies. So your product is not there yet. You just launch your MVP, right? Should have categories are features that you will launch after your MVP has launched. I hope this is clear. Should have category are features that you would launch after your must have has launched. And then could have are features that will go after your should have. So it's like a hierarchy. Must have, should have, could have, and then the final ones won't have, which you might even deprioritize and you might have a conversation. But that's never what we're focusing on. Your won't have can be empty. But once you've prioritized 3 features that your product, if you are doing an e-commerce product, what are the 3 features that you know that every e-commerce should have, or features that your users have told you that we would like for this feature? Or maybe like I said, you don't ask your users for feature directly, right? You can do that, but a good way to structure your questions is ask what their pain point is, and then your features should be a direct solution to their pain points. Now, if they've told you what their pain points are, your must-have categories are features that will have these things that will solve your users' immediate problem. Should have will go after the must-have. So features that that will also solve your users' problem, but it will not stop them from using your product, right? So if I don't launch, for example, if I don't launch a savings product now, it will not stop people from using my fintech. Not all fintechs have a savings product, but if I cannot send and receive money on a fintech product, it means nobody is going to use my product. You see the difference between a must have and a should have. So should have is something that is okay. It's important. Like a virtual card now can be on a should have for a fintech product. Why? Because the next thing you are thinking about in the way people interact with their money is after they transfer, they want a card because they want to use cards to make online purchases, in-person purchases. But there's not enough time for us to work on a card now. So we'll prioritize it. We'll deprioritize it for should have. When we launch our MVP, we'll go back to pick up a card. And then it could have, will now have a savings feature where, okay, once we've launched virtual card, we'll now come and pick up savings. So this is the rationale behind using prioritization framework to prioritize your products. Livingstone, does this answer your question?
If I get it well, it means that the should have will be after my MVP. Abi?
Yes. But you can show me.
Mhm.
Show me. You can include futures.
Oh, okay,
You can
okay.
include
So
futures, but
my three prioritized features will be on the must have. Then I can
yeah,
include the other ones like
yeah,
okay,
you can include futures in the other category.
okay. Thank you, ma. Okay,
Yes.
I'll still come back.
You can ask so that we'll know we're done with you.
I'm still checking
All
the
right.
questions here.
Okay. Opeyemi. Opeyemi, you can unmute your mic.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon, everybody. Okay. First of all, I just have let me say clarity. And on my own project, uh, you said we should not conduct a research, or you said you don't have to conduct user research.
Mm-hmm.
Am I correct now?
I don't know what class you're in. Like I said, every class has their
E-commerce,
have the instruction. Then yes.
Bantu, Bantu Bazaar. So, okay, now here when you are stating the problem, you said you finalized at the last stage. You said your organization has reached out to some of these farmers and has decided to build a platform
Right.
that will
E-commerce.
showcase. Yeah,
Is
yes,
it?
I hope you understand. Yes, it's
Hold,
e-commerce. Yes.
hold hold on. Let
Okay.
me. Let,
Okay. Now,
what's the name of your class?
gray art.
Bantu Bazaar. Okay.
Yes.
Go
Okay,
on.
now, so yeah, I'm in the dark because you said we should not conduct user research, but here
I
you
say
said our complaint.
you should not. You don't have to. Is that not what I said?
You, you said we don't have to. That's what I'm saying.
I didn't say you
Now,
should not.
now,
If you want, you can go ahead and conduct user research.
but the question says that the company has reached out to some of the farmers. Okay, the clarity I'm expecting here is this: is my company standing as a retailer, or you just want to build a platform where both the farmer and the end user can come and use. So that's what I wanted to know because I don't
Listen,
know
say
the
that again.
agreement between
Can you say
ma.
that again? Please repeat yourself.
What I'm trying to say is this: according to the question, the company has reached out to the farmer. So me as a PM, I want to build a platform. So I don't know the agreement between the company and the farmers. Is the company standing as a retailer, or they just want to create a platform where both farmer and the end user can come in and make use of it? That's the
Okay.
question.
Farmers cannot come. So if you notice that this started the product vision is making locally produced food readily accessible to end consumers. Notice I didn't say retailers, end consumers, which are people like you and I who can come and purchase fresh produce. Right now, the company
Okay.
is standing as a middleman between the farmers and the end consumers. So
That's
your
the point that I want to get.
product now is a
That's
connect.
that's the point that I want to know. Because if my company is not standing in, so how will the farmer and the consumer? There should be a point they are going to meet. So far the part that the farmers and I don't know the agreement between the farmer and the company. So that's why I needed the clarity.
Or is it
Because
clear?
some of the assignment that I did, you always say that the assignment should be brief and to the point. So I don't want to, because what I understood from the e-commerce, you said when you said we should do a competitive analysis, I checked on some of the apps that has something to do with that. So I found out that some of these apps have features that bring in the farmer and bring in the end user as well. So far I don't know. So I don't want to do, because I saw that some of my assignment to penalize me just because I want to explain everything in details. But you're like, it should
Don't
be
penalize.
brief and to the point.
I
So
don't
I
penalize.
understand that one.
I just want to clarify. I
Yeah.
don't penalize you for being
Oh,
verbal.
oh,
I won't
okay. Oh,
penalize for being
well,
verbose.
because that was the comment on the
You must
assignment when I did it then. That was the
respond
comment. That was
to the question the way I
uh
expected. Anyway, I
okay.
want
Okay.
to also mention that for one of the reasons why it's to be tricky to do, and one of the reasons why I didn't make it a mandatory um requirement for you to conduct user research for this particular people doing Bantu Bazaar, because there are two customer segments here: your farmer and the end consumers, right? Like I said, your product is a middleman. And so
Uh-huh.
if you want to conduct user research, you would have to conduct on both customer segments. And it might be
Mm.
too tricky, it might be too confusing, which is why I just said do competitive analysis and then um um get your assignments going. But if you decide that you want to do user research, that's fine. But like nobody will penalize. Okay, is that all your question?
No, not at all. I still have this other question. Okay, that one is talking. Like our projects, like sometimes in mathematics they will say imaginary roots. So
Mm,
sometimes when you give us assignment or a project, it's not something that is real. Like, just want us to imagine,
yes,
and
yes.
so that it will show that we really get the point.
But you don't have to imagine because there's so many apps, there's so many products on the market. So you look at it, it's
No,
like you're building something
that's
new. Like it has
no, no,
never
no.
it's a figment of your imagination. You can't even conceive it.
No, that's not the way I'm going to, man. Like when you
Correct.
gave us the 3 months uh, on our roadmap
Mm.
on my PRID, that means that I can
That
state
means
the features that I want there. Then I'll not give you the ones that I want to prioritize on my roadmap.
can you go back? I missed what you
Hello?
said.
Okay, what I'm saying is this, that you give us 3 months.
Mm.
If we are using, we know in real life it's not possible that you even do all these things in 3 months.
It's
Like,
possible.
okay, if I manage, it's possible.
Yes.
Okay, if I now use, okay, I just want to show that I really understood what you've taught us so far, and I still managed to put most of these features, even the ones that I did not prioritize, and I made sure that, okay, within these 3 months we're able to do something. Am I going outside what you are asking us, or we just have to make sure that we don't finish everything in 3 months?
So I've answered this
Because when you
question.
are Well,
I've
when you
answered.
are answering when you are answering someone, you said they should put something that they can do within 3 months. So
Oh,
they are going to launch, like my own now. I can decide that within these 3 months, the research, whatever, and then the launching everything, I can do it within 3 months. So if I put it on my roadmap, does that mean I'm not getting the mark that I'm supposed to get?
so the instruction was prioritize three features, right? Using
Of
Moscow.
course, of course, of course.
Now, I only want to see those three features on your roadmap. But this is not to say that these are the only activities that should be on your roadmap. Because when you are building as a PM, there are other things. Won't you QA the product? Won't you sync with marketing to prepare launch materials? There are other activities that will happen in preparation for launching your MVP. Those activities, alongside the three features you've prioritized, should be on your roadmap. Now, the other features, the 1 million features you say you want to launch, right? But you cannot launch it now because we have just a 3 month window. put the other features on your backlog. That was what I said.
Yeah, well, yes, I heard this clearly, but what I'm saying is this. That okay, like all these features that I listed, you do not know the features that I listed. But I'm just saying that all the features that I listed in my PRID, if it is possible for me to like finish everything in 3 months, is it going to be a sin for me to put it on my roadmap like that?
I just answered this question that I only want to see your prioritized. The instruction is I want to see 3 prioritized features. That's the
It's
instruction.
okay.
That's why I
It's
said
okay.
there is no prioritized. Put it on your backlog.
It's okay. I get the point. Yeah.
Augusta.
Hello, ma. So my question is still on the Moscow prioritization. Oh. I'm sorry, ma. Um,
Mm,
you know, when you download a product now, you have the onboarding feature, then you have the
mm,
login feature. Then when you now you get home page. Okay,
mm,
so can I categorize this as my 3 must-have features? That's my
mm,
question.
mm.
Or aside these 3, can I now add the main 3 features you want to see?
Yes, yes, yes. So I don't want to see onboarding active features. I want to see login and sign up because if you don't put login and sign up, how will I build your product? It's like building a house and you forget to build a door and you say you finish building. So I don't want to actually even see any onboarding flow. I want to see your core features for the product. So again, let's go back to the fintech analogy. If you want to build a fintech, first receive and send money. That's on your account statement. That's 2 features like that. I want to see your core features. If you say homepage, what will be on the homepage? Like, okay, even if we will still go with the fintech analogy, the homepage is where your receive and send money will be. This is when you now start to have things like virtual card, you now start having other pages aside your homepage. So you guys can conduct. That's why I clearly put the industry so that you know products that are similar to what I'm asking you for, and you can go and look at those products and see what they look like in addition to your user research for those who are conducting user research. Augusta, is that clear? I muted you because I was getting feedback, but let me know if it's clear. If it's not, you can raise your hand and I will let you speak again. All right. Godwin Sunday Elijah. Godwin Sunday Elijah.
Good evening, ma.
Good evening.
Thank you. Please, my own concern is about the software we are using for this work. I'm so familiar with Jira, but I think you prefer Notion.
Jira for this assignment.
Like the roadmap, the backlog, and all of that.
But
I'm
there are other
sorry.
things that okay, go on, finish first.
Okay, like that's just what I want to
But there are
talk
other
about.
things that I asked. What's things like user research? How will you include that on Jira? What's there are other requirements aside backlog and what's it called, roadmap? So if you use Jira for these things, what's your plan for the other requirements?
Okay, though I never noticed that, but maybe like this Notion, I think I'm still finding it hard to use Notion.
No, if you tell me what's your plan for the other, I can listen to you, but you don't have a plan. Because
What if
aside roadmap and backlog, there are other things I asked for. So how do you include that on Jira? Because I know you cannot.
okay? Yeah, how about maybe I just include the link?
No, I don't want to have multiple links.
All right, man.
Link
That's
for
just my concern.
the link for your Jira board.
Yes, man.
The issue with including external link is I don't want to have to I'm grading you, and then I have to send you a message to grant me access to something, it interrupts my workflow. So it's better for me. Most of the issues that people are having with assignments now is they included a link that I couldn't access, and now is I've gone past it, and it's now difficult for me to backtrack and go back there. So it's
Okay.
just less for your own good. If you are sure that Jira, you're not going to need anything from me. Yeah, I'm not going
Yes,
to
ma.
get
I won't. I won't.
on your link, and no, actually no, just use one document. Use one
Okay.
document. Yeah.
Uh,
So that's
eh,
because if I permit you now, everybody is going to want to use Jira, and I'll start having multiple links in documents.
all right, ma. Maybe I will just have to go and learn how to use Notion.
Watch YouTube videos. It's very easy.
I don't know if do you have a link you can send?
No, I don't. But you can ask your
Okay.
customers. All of them use Notion, so they can point you in the right direction.
All right, ma. Thank you, ma.
Yeah. Philly. Philly Ogu.
Good evening, ma. Good evening, ma.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, ma. Good evening, ma.
I hear you. Good evening.
Hello. Yeah,
I can
while I was trying to look at my Google Forms in the course of the during the course of the week. I was trying to add. You said we should make you an admin or send you the link to view all the responses and all. How do we go about that? I tried
Oh
probably
no.
adding collaborator, but it wasn't.
Okay, no, not you don't have to add me as a collaborator. Let me So there's a way to send your own admin link, right? There's a way to send. Try copying. So you created the form, right? Now go to your form and try copying the link in your browser, and that should be the link that you should include. I think that's the link that will grant me access to your responses. You can test it and let me know if that
Oh,
works.
all right. Thank you. I'll
That's
try
the right
that.
link.
Thank you.
Please test it too, so you don't do something and then I find out that I'm grading and I realize that you included the wrong link. Test it so you can um see if it works or it doesn't work. While you're doing that, let's take someone else. Livingston, you go after Paul. Paul Ibewachu.
Yeah, good afternoon, ma. Actually, I have a question about the project and the
Mm,
question about Scrum. But I want to refer to something you said about the fintech products.
mm.
You made mention of payment gateway as a could have feature, but I thought that was the same as sending money.
It is, it is, it is. It is. That was an error on my part.
Just to be clear. Okay, then now about Scrum. How does it work? Because the sprint is when they have intense activities for like 2 weeks to 1 month. So when they are not in a sprint, what do they do when they show up to work every day? Do
Th-
they not
There's
work on the features during that time when it's not?
there's a sprint like that. That's how they structure work. So if a sprint finishes, so at the beginning of a sprint, there's something called a sprint planning session. And then they go into a sprint. 2 weeks after the 2 weeks, there's a sprint review where they are seeing sprint review. You're reviewing your sprint activities. What went wrong? Was your launch successful? Did we finish everything we said we're going to do within the sprint? If we didn't, why? If we did, okay, good. And then you go into another sprint. So it's a continuous thing. It's not like a sprint is some special ritual or some special activity. It is part of workflow. They just call it's just a ritual, but it is part of workflow where work is continuously done within, and there are time boxing certain activities to happen within 2 weeks so that features are being worked on and delivered quickly. Because if you don't time box in that way, um you can find that your team will be working on the same set of features that they would have finished in 2 weeks. 1 month, they're still there working on that thing because you didn't time box it. So it's this thing where there's a bit of urgency. So we know that this is what we must, it's like a deadline. We must finish this thing these 2 weeks, and then we go into another 2 weeks and we must finish this thing. So it's a continuous loop.
Okay, I think I understand now. Now, my main question is about the user research. I noticed that somehow some people below 20 years were filling the form, and some of my respondents say that they rarely use the feature I'm trying to inquire about. So I know in my assignment, you asked me to ignore those responses. Since I cannot eliminate them from filling the survey, is it okay if they're still part of the respondents, even that just ignore the answers they give me?
First of all, they don't count, they're invalid. So if I ask for I said 10 to 15. So if I ask for 10 to 15 and you have responders that are below your target age range, they don't count. So you take them as invalid. So if you have 5 responses, you have 10 total responses, and 5 of those are invalid responders, then I'm going to assume you have just 5 responders.
Okay, does it also include those who rarely use the feature that I'm designing for?
But you haven't. I said this earlier. First of all, how do you know that people age 20? Did you put an age? Did you ask them for their age?
I stated it clearly. It's for persons between 20 and 30 years.
So how did you know their age? How do you know they're in their 20s? Because you know them personally.
Each category, ask them to confirm at the beginning of the form.
So they confirm their age. So it means you collected responders. You created how do I explain this? You created a category for them, essentially. Like you asked them, are you 20 to XYZ age? Is that what you did?
Yeah, ask them to confirm the age category before going to the rest of the questions. And some persons below still filled.
Okay, so those people below are invalid. They don't count in your research. Now, your other question was, what was your other question? Remind me, please.
Like I'm designing Bantu box.
Okay, you said
And
they don't have the features.
yeah,
Yes.
they rarely watch movies. So do they really count? Their opinion,
No,
do they really count?
they don't count because they're not your target audience. Your target audience should be people that watch movies.
Frequently.
Yes, because those are the people you are building for. Remember, I said your responders from your user research can end up being your beta testers. So you want to make sure that people that they are facing the same. So if they really watch movies, it means they are not encountering the problem that your product is solved. Do you see? Because they need to be experiencing the problem for your product to solve the problem for them. If I've forgotten what your problem was for Bantu Box, but if the problem that Bantu Box is solving is not their specific problem, then you have no business building for them. They are not your target audience.
Okay, I think I understand now. Thank
Hmm. Livingstone, you can now go.
Thank you, ma.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, I think I want to start from where Augusta ended about the prioritized feature of a thing. Now, you may mention now that you want a core feature, and I just discovered that, like, for those that have been able to relate with the prioritized feature we use was just the onboarding feature, like the one you taught us, homepage and everything,
Just join
and
board.
that was that was exactly what I used for my design scenario. The question is, will the core feature now, does it necessarily mean I must design the scenario for it, or apart from the home page and everything I've done, I should now have a prioritized feature like that?
So what I'm saying is, homepage, login, homepage, sign, onboarding, all those ones. you must have it on your products because there's no other way your product will function. So it's not a feature. Understand? It's not a feature. It's the user pathway to your product. I allowed it. I used it as a feature. I allowed it for teaching because you guys were new to it, and it would have been confusing for me to start being stringent then. But now we've gotten to the end of the program. You are familiar with what digital product is like. You are familiar with building it. So now you. I don't want sign up onboarding login to count as features. So if that's what you did, go back to drawing board, remove them. They're not features. Go and prioritize another set of features. Go and map a flowchart for them. I hope that's clear. Livingstone.
Okay. It's as if I just started on my
You
No,
have one
wahala.
week.
So, the thing is, I've marked my flowchart, the scenario, like everything like that. And my product features are just those three. So, okay, no, wahala. So, another question, I think someone mentioned something about the competitive analysis. And I think you didn't include it in our own. And what I did was, I don't know if it is okay. It was the one I used to design my user research because I just had to download some app to really
I
know.
that even if I don't
Ma,
ask you to do that, even if I don't ask you to do that, I expect that.
wow, okay,
Yeah,
all
like
right, ma. So I should
to,
include it like
you don't have to include it. But I'm saying that there's no way for you if you don't look at what your computer is building. Then you should be doing some measure of competitive analysis. Do you understand? So, there are some classes that I told them to include their competitive analysis. But for your class, I don't think I said it. But you also should be doing ideally because when I taught you problem ideation, I talked about user research, I talked about market research, I talked about competitive analysis. So you should do competitive analysis. How do you get a sense? Will you pull the features you want to build? Yes, you are conducting user research, but will you pull the feature from thin air? No, you look at what is on the market and then you also look at what your user has, the feedback your user has given you, and try to derive solution. So it gives you an idea of how to build what you're trying to build.
my last question, please. I want you to help me with that user story and the customer problem because I assumed before that the customer problem is what we include in the customer persona. And I just saw that it's even different because what you have us to do in the number four is the customer problem and the customer problem is rather. And number five, we should develop a customer persona. So I'm confused. And
Your
for that
customer
user story of a thing, is it because I what I did last was the user story, I included it to my backlog
PRD. Hmm? Okay, you
PLD.
cleared. Was it PRD or backlog? But I didn't ask you to write user story or Livingstone. Did you see user
And
story question?
you said we should do customer problem statements.
So why are you talking about
And
user?
no, I'm just saying that. And you also said we should do a customer persona. Like, what's the this thing? Because I mixed it up. Like, the customer persona is still the same thing that we include the customer problem statements.
So
I don't know what I'm expected to do in that area.
first of all, I didn't ask for user story, so don't confuse yourself. Second of all, your customer problem statement, right, is pull up the slide and read what it is. But I said that you can include your customer persona is different from your customer problem statement, but your customer persona can include your customer problem statement. So I answered someone earlier that asked a similar question that you can include your customer problem statement in your user persona or your customer persona. So you remember when you did a customer persona, Abby? Do you remember? Livingstone, I need feedback.
Ma, yes, I did.
All right. So when you do your customer problem statement can be included on your customer persona. The problem why you are having confusion here is because you've not gone to read the slide. You can reference the slides, you can reference the learning resources, and that will inform you.
Okay, I think I have. If this one is not a question, you mentioned something about the collaborator and the Google form within. I think there is a link that can be shared from that collaborator stuff because it can crash when the person just copies the link directly from Chrome. It won't do unless the person share as collaborator. There's a link attached to it. They will just copy the link and share to the assignment.
So where did they copy the link from?
Like they will click on the add collaborator. So when they click it, it will now bring like they should copy a link or they should include a particular email address. So they
Oh,
just copy the link without including the email address. So it will do like that.
okay. I just tested it. So what Livingstone is saying is if you open up your form, click on send, you see add editor at the bottom of the form. If you click on add editor, you see an option to either include email or copy responder link. So you should be copying. So Livingstone, is it the responder link they will copy?
Yes.
Okay.
So when you now click it, you'll be able to access the thing, maybe for editing or so.
All right. Thank you for that. All your questions are answered, right?
Yes.
Guys, please test your link before you upload. Test your link and test it with your friends. You can open up different browsers and test it. Just ensure that your links are opening up to the right page because it's always such a hassle when I am grading you and then I have to abruptly stop because your links are not working, which is why I said don't include link because it disrupts my workflow. So if you're including your, or not if, you must include your user research links. Please test your link, ensure that they are functioning, ensure that they lead to the right places so that we don't have issues because we have a short time to even grade this assignment. We have 2 more weeks for this project. This is week 10, I think. Week 11 and week 12 is you guys. In case I haven't said it clearly, in case you're just joining, next week we're going to start presenting your project. So all these things I've spent week 1 to 10 teaching. Week 11, you're coming to teach me. You're coming to tell me about your products and walk me through your product sense or how you built this as a product manager. Tell me what you did, how you did it. So, Toluwa Lope John.
Yes, ma. Good evening, ma.
Good evening.
Good evening, ma. Yes,
Good
ma.
evening.
Ma, I have two questions. I am sending a picture to the group to confirm. Can I do my submission this week? I just sent a picture to the group now. So I don't know. Can I prepare? I'm using Notion, the desktop
Yes,
version. So can I prepare my work this week?
yes, you absolutely
Like
can.
I
As far
sent
as can you hear me?
each of them are saying, yes, ma. I can hear you.
As far as I can access them, that's fine.
Okay, they are separate pages, all separately together. I just group them like an outline.
But if you use
Okay.
separate
Then, ma,
pages,
my second question, ma.
hold on. If you use separate pages, how am I going to be able to access? It means you have to make all your pages visible to the web. You have to publish all your pages to the web.
Yes, ma.
Is that not too difficult? Is that
Okay,
not
do I
too
can't I no like it's a single project, like the pages are inside the same document. So if I'm sharing the link, it's going to be a single link, all the
okay?
pages inside. But I'm going to test it after this to see confirm.
All right.
But the pages are inside the same file. They are not separate documents, they are inside the same document. Like if you check, it has a broad heading, then they
No
have
problem.
the sub pages
Let's
inside.
test it, okay? Let's
Okay,
test
but I
it.
will test it before. Yes, ma'am. Then, ma'am, my second question. I'm working on a Bantu box. So
Okay.
most of the reviews are largely on the expectation are largely on creating a chat section or a chat section and a review section, such that they can review movies or they can interact fellow maybe people within that same movie. So in my flow charts, features. Will I have to skip the login page, or should I just use the
Yes, yes. Keep logging. I
I should
don't
just use
see log.
the okay. We should skip. I should skip logging. Just
Yeah,
two must-have features.
three. I want three. Don't login doesn't count for
Okay.
this project. For the purpose of this project, because you must design login. Do you understand me? There's no
Yes,
project that
ma'am.
is not design login for, because
So
how will people? It's like you're building a house and there's no roads to the house.
okay, okay. But the instruction says two. So should I work with the two, or I should work with three that you just said now?
The instruction says three.
I will check my slide very well, but because the assignment was showing me two features on my flowchart, three on the backlog, two on the flowchart.
Okay, yes, the future
That's
has
what
two.
my. Maybe I'll check the question again. Huh?
Yes, no, you're correct. For the future is just two, but for the uh,
Backlog, roadmap. I mean,
yes.
roadmap.
Avance, I have answered your questions, right?
Yes, ma. You have answered it, ma. Yes, thank you.
So we'll just take two more. Israel Dio. Israel Dio.
All right, good evening, man. It's a quick one. Do I know you have specifically asked us not to use Microsoft Word for the project? I didn't use it actually. But like attachments, like competitive analysis I did, I used Microsoft Word Documented, which I attached it to Notion. I don't know if it's allowed.
You did what? Say that again.
My competitive analysis, I
Mm.
did not want to
You did it
which
on Microsoft Word.
yes,
You did it on Microsoft Word and then you attached it
attached.
on Notion.
Yes.
Why don't you just include it on Notion? What's your blocker?
Okay. I'll do that.
Yeah,
I'll do that. Okay.
yeah. And hopefully our last one for today. Yasser Abubakar.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Okay, good evening.
Yes, ma'am. I'm little bit confused when you said I heard you say that like onboarding is not a feature. So I did not understand. Does that mean it would not include it as a feature?
Yes, I'm saying don't include it for this project. Don't include
Oh,
onboarding as part of your future because
oh,
it's like it's standard. You must do onboarding. You must design login. You must design onboarding experience for your user. Again, back to my analogy, you cannot build a house on a street and then there's no roads to the house. So onboarding
yeah.
is your login is your road to your products. There is standard, but I want to see the core features of the products. That's what I want to see.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, I understand. Thank you.
All right. Okay. So I believe that we have covered all the questions for today. I didn't expect you guys to ask this much question, but Elvis, the attendance was taken manually by Joshua. So regarding I'm still deliberating on if we will host next week's session here or if we'll do a Google Meet. My blocker with doing a Google Meet is that we might not be able to stay beyond 1 hour. So if we're using Telegram, if you're using Telegram, then if you're going to use if we will use Telegram, I will let you guys know. And if we use Telegram, then I'm sure I'm the only one who can share my screen. So I will share my screen. And so what is going to actually happen is we're going to do the classes in hierarchy. So on my Google Classroom, product gen, let me pull up my Google Classroom. Product gen, hold on. Product gen, product page setter. So this is the order. Product gen, product page setter, product sensei, product Jedi, product ninja, product grey hat, product white hat, and product red hat. So we're going to follow this sequentially for the next 4 sessions that we'll have. we'll probably have two sessions. We'll probably do two classes per session. So maybe next Saturday will be product gen and product pace setters. Sunday can be sensei and Jedi. Upper Sunday, upper Saturday can be ninja and grey hats, and then we'll finish off with white hats and red hats. I'll share the list here, so don't worry about that. So what else? I might be sharing your screen, but I might be the one to just share my screen. So maybe what you'll just have to do is you just unmute your mic and you walk us through. So you teach us on how you build your products. That is it. Okay, Augusta, I can see your hands up. Augusta. Before Augusta goes, Augusta, hold on.
Something is wrong.
Hold on, before you go, I'm only going to if you submit your project without going through this defense, then it doesn't count. Your project is null and void. So I'm only going to rate those who are actually defending their projects. Those are the people that, because some people, what I've noticed is happening in this class, from last week quiz, I noticed that some people just come and they send the link to whoever, or they send the link to their friends or whatever, and participate in the project, and they are not a part of the class. It doesn't make any sense. You're supposed to show up for classes, not just do assignments. So if you don't go through this process of presenting your project, then I'm going to assume that you didn't participate in the project. And let's remember that the project carries 50% of our scoring for the purpose of this program. So that's just something to bear in mind. Augusta, you can go.
Okay, ma. I am thinking the new students will not go first. And I believe that most of the new students are in product management gen. So we going first could be a very big error. So please, can we go last?
Augusta, just to count.
Or maybe put us in the middle somehow like that. So that's what I want to say.
But you don't count as a new student anymore now. Okay, I will take this under deliberation. Don't worry, I will take this under
I'm a new student, though. I'm a new student, ma.
I agree, you're a new student. I will take this under consideration. I want Augusta to be the last to speak today. Well, Isaiah. We'll close with Isaiah. Isaiah, you can ask your question. Isaiah Kaidim.
Okay, thank you. Mine is not really a question. I just wanted to second what Augusta just said, please.
You just want to do what?
I just wanted to second, to support what Augusta just said. Please, thank you.
First of all, most of you are not new students anymore. But as I said, we will see. I will see what I can do about this. All right, I believe that is the end of our class. I hope we've had a very productive conversation. I like the questions that most of you asked today, because it means that you've already started your project and you're working through it. So if I don't take your questions today, please work tomorrow. We can't answer everybody today. So tomorrow we can write your questions down so you don't forget. Tomorrow we can dedicate 1 hour. Hopefully we don't spill over like we've done today, but we can dedicate 1 hour tomorrow and we'll just answer whatever questions. So those of you that I said go back and read your slide, actually go back and read your slide, so that if your questions still persist, you don't have clarity, you can ask me tomorrow. That's it for today. I will see everyone tomorrow by 5 p.m. Enjoy the rest of your day.